Okay, welcome to TBD&D.
God.
Last we left off was a very, very serious and busy session. The session started with a few of you doing various personal tasks, preparing potions for the arena fight to come, making arrows, making sure that all your weaponry is up to specs. The biggest thing that happened, I would say, is Ersa's little journey alongside Elveron, a man which there was much fear around, still is, but it's a little different now. Elveron pledged himself to you, and after doing so, he said that although he does love this city and has been loyal to the king for a long time, perhaps that's the only way he's been able to survive, he knows that what he has done is not good. He knows that he is not a good person, and he doesn't wish to be forgiven. He doesn't wish to alter the past, but what he does wish is to honor the memory of his wife through helping you, Ersa. That is the biggest and most important thing in his life, and he is now presented with a means to do so. Atticus, you also helped initiate this relationship, and Ersa, alongside Eyes, traveled with Elveron deep underneath the keep to the last remaining portal to Tyr, Cohen's, whatever it may be, old realm. This is the last portal to Asgard, which I guess you guys don't technically know, but this portal itself, with sort of somewhat moving yet still crows kind of jumbled up amongst each other, lying around the entire perimeter of this portal, the portal peering into heat, fire, and destruction. And finally, after absorbing this portal, seeing those birds swirl around you, and the climax being led to a voice of your biological mother, she seemed distant. She explained how she believes she is dead, yet she remains alive through you, through Ephraim, perhaps even through Elveron, and she wishes to learn about herself and about you. But you felt her presence fleeting very quickly, and as you sink into the water, the glowing tattoos all around you, you finally, hours in real time, reawaken. The portal in front of you gone, leaving nothing but ash and scarred stone around it. Eyes is there, so is Elveron. And after talking with Elveron, feeling this newfound sense of power, you teleported them yourself. You did that back to the brothel, which you guys have kind of set up shop. Finally, after much anticipation, the arena fight began. The massive arena of Zisa, as it's called. Zisa, what you can infer, is the name of Tyr's long-lost wife. Fighting in this arena began very swiftly, and not within half a minute, less, like 15 seconds, you were able to kill very easily the son, the dragon of Dula, the large ancient blue dragon which reigns over the entire city and has been by the side of kings for generations. Dula immediately jumped into action, trying to avenge the death of her son. Being fueled by anger, she attacked you. Now, it was a rough fight. Many of you went down several times, but luckily were able to be brought back through various good rolls and acts of strategy. And in the end, you were able to kill Dula as well in a triumphant defeat by Odie and Ersa. Mm-hmm. Odie taking the very good initiative to take a dump on the back of the flying Dula, while Ersa plunged Tempest into her neck, cutting her all about, and then you two flying her dead corpse down safely onto the ground of the arena. Afterwards, Tyr presented himself. He approached, kind of talking throughout about how he definitely wanted to get back at Loki, or Cohen, and that one way that he thought he could do so is if he murdered Odie, along with the rest of you, of course. He approached, but Eyes was able to, similar to the King's Son, very quickly encase Odie in a highly protective bubble of magic. As stupid and egotistical as Tyr might be, he's probably seen this magic before, and he's not the kind of person to actually exert himself to get what he wants, so he just decides to kill the rest of you first before getting to Odie, killing you guys in a way to drop the spell. The first victim of his was Gwyn. After various taunting from Gwyn, as per usual, Tyr, in a single blow, pummeled Gwyn's entire body about a foot into the stone. Her head completely caved inward, her spine shrunk beneath her. Now, fortunately, a bit later on, Gwyn was able to be revived, although there was some extensive damage that needed to be fixed. However, the largest point of interest through the entire session was when Savrin, Ersa, and Eyes all tried to cast banishment on Tyr, knowing that this was a fight that they could not win, especially after seeing that even with a solid blow from Atticus, only a small slice of blood was able to be drawn. Knowing that this was a fight that could not be won, at least physically, you knew you needed to get rid of him. You knew you needed to buy time, and that's exactly what you did. All the banishments up until Eyes' attempt failed. Eyes, after ingesting a large amount of black salt, being souped out of your mind, began casting banishment on him. You put everything you had into it, so much so that you were able to burn through all 3 of his legendary resistances to finally banish him. And in one final roll by Tyr himself, various uses of team inspirations, Eyes was successful. Tyr disappeared, sent right back to his homeland of Asgard, or the 9th level of Hell. However, after this victory, you watched as Eyes' skin wrinkled rapidly, sort of breaking apart and kind of floating off into the air, until eventually her entire body turned to ash and got rushed away into the swirling wind. Her clothes, her weapons, whatever she has on her falls down to the ground, including the box at the very top of it. And that is where we relatively ended the session after Cohen arrived. Gwyn, or I think it was Gwyn. You shouted for Cohen. He quickly arrived, obviously having seen at least the last part, and he exclaimed, "This is all his fault. This is all my fault." And that's where it ended. We pick right back up, yes.
I think after a moment of kneeling over what used to be Eyes, Atticus's eyes are glowing a really light blue and kind of darting around pretty rapidly. About halfway through that, tears start streaming down his face. The blue light fades. He stands up, walks over to the dragon. Can I try tearing a tooth out of the dragon's mouth?
Yank it right out.
In this moment of silence, I'm assuming thousands of people.
Yeah, it's silent.
I walk to in front of the king.
At this point, he's standing, overlooking the balcony, which he stands upon and silent.
Simply for flavor, I think I'll burn a superiority die and use a commanding presence.
Okay.
And very aggressively, very loudly proclaim, as one of your advisors, now that you're free, I recommend you fix your broken city and find a god willing to protect you. And then I'd like to rage.
Okay.
And on my first attack every round, I get radiant damage from Saloon. And I'd like to try to use that to stab the dragon tooth into the back of my hand to try to get rid of tears.
You stab it into your hand.
Just bright blue light radiating from the hand. As it fades, it's caused so much damage. It's not like it's now clear skin. It's not a matter of getting rid of Tear's mark. It's Tear's mark has been scarred over.
Yep.
Throw the bloody tooth to the ground. And walk out of the arena, trying to hold myself together.
As you're walking out of the arena...
Oh shoot, I forgot to also say... Sorry, can I backtrack just a little bit?
Sure.
I recommend you fix your broken system, and because the boots are missing, you find a god willing to protect you.
The king, his suspicions confirmed after you stab your hand, begin making your leave. The king, very firmly, the magic carrying his voice through the entire arena, you can see anger, fear in his eyes, and he screams, "Arrest them all! I want them now!"
I square up.
Ursa kind of...
You see converging in on you from the outside, hundreds of guards all at once.
Ursa reeling from the loss just as she's screaming, "We've got to go! We've got to go!"
You see the king's son starts walking up behind the king, and as you guys are all rushing to Ersa, you see the king's son grab over the king's head, ripping the top of his jaw and his head completely off. You then see he tosses his father over the balcony, and his head splatters onto the ground. The king's son then goes, "You will halt immediately! Tyr was broken and he broke us, and my father helped him do it. I am now your king, along with my mother as your queen. Let them go." All the guards stunned. They all kind of like look around, and they all just sheathe their weapons and stand down. What are you guys doing?
Still shaking.
Ursa's got her hand up.
Hey, Attic, you want to get rid of mine?
Get rid of your what?
My mark.
I don't think he hears you. He's very...
I walk up to you and like tug on your cloak.
Even still, he's so out of it. Fight or flight, just eyes dilated.
Sav pulls up her glove and like just extends her hand to let it burn in the sunlight. And just scar over, and then I think...
Please, I want to leave.
Go and pick up Isa's stuff and throw it in a bag of holding and start heading out.
Shake some ash out of it.
Ursa's holding her arms out for people to gather around, and...
I think Sav kind of, as they're gathering, kind of tips her hat to the king's son subtly and continues.
Yeah, I think before I get in contact with the rest of the group to zip out of there, I turn to the king, the new king, with a couple of final words and just say, "Please treat your people more fairly. Heal these lands."
You see he goes, "My father treated me the same way as many of the people that dwell in these lands. I give you my word that I will correct it."
Give him a little bow.
"Pink-haired one, I still wish to fight you, but perhaps not to the death now."
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
I appreciate it.
And get ready to zip
Well,
out of
maybe
there.
not friends. I respect you.
Now get out before I change my mind.
Okay.
Bro, I just
Where do you take us?
Gwyn's in shock.
I think the brothel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the last bit of her strength.
You all, are you able to do it?
Yep.
Costs 2 planar points per person.
Yep. Per person?
Yeah, it's per person.
I was getting ready to walk out of the arena anyway.
So-
Yeah.
I can misform and follow.
So it's including you. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
I thought it was just for teleportation.
Cohen can handle himself. Yeah, it's 12 planar points.
I can
only
misform and travel over there.
I
I'm
have
gonna
4
push
left.
Cohen off of me after that embrace
Okay.
and just ask him to take us to the brothel.
Brothel or Feywild, wherever you want to go.
The brothel. The brothel.
Alright. He snaps his fingers and you all teleport inside. Cohen, in the middle, he goes... You two. Or maybe just you. I have some things I wish to say. In private.
No?
It doesn't have to be now.
I mean,
Just soon.
if I'm involved, I'd like to just get it over with.
I also think Sav would offer to, extend a sacred flame to anyone who wants to get rid of their mark as well. Cauterize, take turns.
Oh yeah,
Going
I
around.
did 24 damage to my own hand.
No,
With all
the bones in there.
no, it's
kinda-
just all radiant damage, so it's just
Okay.
burned.
Yeah, but I'll just kind of wordlessly go around and then, just...
I you know my ability to kind of manipulate reality? I would like to make it so that each of the scars on our hands heal over in a vague eye shape.
Okay. Each one of your now very scarred hands looks different, and it's vague, but you can see that on each of the scar tissue, the coloring, the shapes, it does look like, and it's different for everyone, perhaps the smile of eyes, the ears, even her entire features, her silhouette, but each of you have a marking that is very similar to what eyes appears to be like. Cohen goes, perhaps this is not the best time for me to be here.
No, I think it would be good if you left.
I did not know eyes very well, so I should not be part of the grieving. But I do wish to speak to at least you. Call upon me when you're ready. And Cohen will disappear.
Are you guys outside of the brothel, or did you go?
Inside.
This is inside.
I go to collect my stuff. I want to get out of this city. I think I go into the room that we've been using. I like all the stuff that I've kind of taken out of my bag of holding. I put it back in. Maybe the bag will hold it. If not, I'll just say I grab it from the corner. But Samson's saddle, I kind of get over my shoulder, and I don't know where we're going, but I want to leave.
Can we take a minute? I can't feel much, and it hurts to move. I'm guessing a crushed spinal column, like a very badly damaged spine.
Yeah,
My
Gwen
nerves
is
are still.
bleeding from several
Yeah,
places.
I would be helping
start.
with that.
I would probably need greater a couple lesser restorations to undo some damage.
Well, I do have restorations, so
Thanks.
let's see.
Just for some added context, Shold, nowhere to be seen. Neither is Heimdall.
Yeah, I think I'm I think I'm just like impatiently waiting by the door.
Thanks. Are you using?
I've told a lot of people that I had one mission with this group and I failed. There's I don't know if maybe just like a numb anger, dissociation, simply waiting for just some sort of gesture, because I can't, I'm not even processing the sounds around me, what people are saying. Just as soon as I see other people leaving, I'm heading out the door.
Okay.
Ate, why are you standing at the door? We need rest. I want to leave too, but
In the morning, get here, because wherever we want to go.
we should get the horses though.
Are the horses? Did we leave them in the stables in our little house? Okay.
No, the horses are at the stables in Gordonsky.
Because
Right?
we rode to the city. Unless we set up the house just outside city limits, put the horses in the stable, then shrunk it again.
Gotcha.
Remember, it's in the city of Moonin, I believe. It's not technically on the Parhurst steps, but it's a few miles outside. It's where you met Lawrence.
What was the name?
Moonin.
Moonin? I think after a little while, when people start settling down in the brothel, I'll see you in Moonin.
You're leaving?
I don't want to be here.
Neither do I. But you're leaving us?
Not all of you. I'll see you in Moonin tomorrow. I'm not spending another night here.
Rest.
I will, outside of the city.
I think Ursa just gives as many charges of cure wounds as she has left. And
I also will do that.
I think that's 4 level 1 cure wounds.
Oh, to me?
Yeah.
I don't want any of it.
Too bad.
Cure wounds is touch, right?
Yeah.
Slap the hand away.
Your hand breaks.
Walk out the door.
Odie is going to take out the little telescope that Ice gave him, and just kind of spend the night, like looking at it and writing like a letter to kind of keep with it.
Okay.
Sav probably spends some of her time setting up like a little, I don't know, not necessarily like a shrine, but like a, just a setup where like just can kind of pay her respects, and just kind of sit in silence for a moment.
Anything else?
Ursa's throwing things. Not things that belong to the
Brothel.
But
Odie.
as Atticus leaves, she throws a cloak, a thing of rations, a bedroll.
I would go up to Ersa and kind of like grab her cloak and be like, Ersa, save your energy, please. I'm here to talk if you need it, but
Those dragons, that god. I didn't take a single hit. The entire fight. I got stopped. It didn't work.
there was nothing you could do. I'm so sorry.
Could have done something.
What?
You want to know what Lorena told me in that letter? When I asked her,
Who's Lorena?
my mother on the coasts,
Oh,
I asked her about my home, portals I had told you about, Tao. Supposedly, my people had been guardians of our plains for generations. That's what I told you.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lie. The creatures didn't start attacking our home until I showed up. Countless of my people were maimed, hurt, died. So I could have normal life. I just feel like I can't do anything. Where's my turn? Where's my choice? I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize. When I left hunting that week and I stayed out and I came back and my home was burned, I blamed myself. I still do. You made less of a choice than me. I don't want to see you put this on yourself. You didn't ask for this power. You might not have a choice right now, but the way I see it, we have a choice between hiding and a choice between fighting for a choice.
I don't know what I'm gonna do without her.
You two were very close. I miss her, but I imagine it's not the same, and I'm sorry. If you need to talk, you'd find me, okay? You aren't alone. Of course. One's gonna kind of sit down on her bedroll and start journaling.
Once it's dark, if nobody else has anything they want to do.
I think Odie might.
Just,
You have something?
just for the record, I think Sav just at her little station with incense burning, so she can pay her respects. I think that Sav starts making a little doll of eyes, not like a voodoo doll, but just to commemorate her and find don't know, just out of like little beads or little trinkets that remind her of, of eyes to kind of memorialize in her mind and to hold on to that memory, I think. But yeah.
Sounds like Cohen wanted to talk to him, so. Hey, Dad. Cohen?
He kind of walks around the corner, trying not to startle you too much. Hi. I think I've decided I just want to tell you, if that's okay.
Right.
Do you want to go somewhere a bit more?
It's safe here if that's what you're worried about, but
I'm not so worried about that. I just want you to be comfortable.
I imagine it's not going to be too comfortable for a little while. Doesn't really matter where we are.
Yes. All right. Well, this will be fine, I suppose. No one else is kind of in this room that you're in. He goes, I wish to tell you everything about myself. I want to tell you things that not a living soul alive knows. That no one has known about me, well, I suppose 2 living souls may know, but they don't know my version of events.
2 is in,
Well, 3 now. Tyr, Heimdall, Freya. But they don't really know me.
They all seem to want to kill you.
Yes. Well, first, I wish to start by saying this. Growing up, even from your young age, you look up at night, make constellations of your own, and find little pictures in the sky. I want you to think as realms, worlds, as constellations. A constellation is a cluster of stars that, when looked at from a distance, appear to form a succinct image. They look closer than they may actually be. In reality, they could be millions of miles apart, but they appear to make a shape. Realms, much like this one that we are currently on, are very similar. They could be millions of miles apart from one another, or in close proximity, but if you take a step back, they form a succinct shape, right?
Okay.
Your cluster of realms, this one, Ezerun, the Feywild even, they're all in a cluster, they're a constellation. Travel between these realms is easier than, let's say, to another constellation. My realms is another constellation where I come from. How do I describe this? My realms were very, very far away. Although the remnants may be closer now, part of this cluster, they didn't always used to be like that. I was born on a realm called Jotunheim. My mother's name was Laufey. My father's name was Baula. And they had me. My parents were frost giants. Before all of this, I suppose I should give you more context for how Jotunheim came to be. Well, the realms that I lived on, 9 of them. There was Alfheim, Asgard, Jotunheim, Midgard, Vanaheim, Niflheim, Svartalheim, Muspelheim, and Helheim.
Right?
These worlds, they formed through millions of years of just natural production. They formed a constellation, right? And then one day, the ice from Niflheim melted and converged with the fires of Muspelheim. And it formed the very first giant, very first Jotnar, very first being, Vermeer. Vermeer was a giant, bigger than any continent, a size of a world. And from him, along with, now this may sound strange to you, but to me, to my people, this was everything. This was real. Came from him, and came from a very large spectral cow. The milk from that cow's udders created life, and so did Vermeer. And eventually my parents came from that. I am a god, yes, but both of my parents were not. They were frost giants, just like every other frost giant. And I suppose I'll touch on why this is important a bit later, but when I was 2, maybe 3, too young for even me to remember, my parents were killed by Odin, the god of gods in my realm. Think Tyr's position here.
Okay.
Except Odin was far more powerful than Tyr. Maybe not physically, but mentally. He was the smartest being, period, ever. And he knew how people ticked. He killed my parents. And he took me, a baby at the time, sort of took me under his wing. I wasn't necessarily his son, although he raised me like one. It felt more like I was always his brother. That's how he saw it. I shared the similar sort of kinship to Odin's biological son, Thor. We were brothers together, I suppose. Time progressed, raised by the god of gods, but I knew from a very young age that he didn't care about me, didn't even care about Thor, although the love, quote-unquote, he showed to Thor was appealing to me. Thor was his closer, his attack dog. And I was just some trickster. You see, that's what I learned very fast. In hopes to improve my relationship with my father, to gain, or my brother, to gain attention from the All-Father, I lashed out. Played tricks on people, turned people into animals, turned myself into animals, and over time I garnered power I never thought possible. Godlike power. I didn't realize it at the time. I only ever realized it after I came here, but I believe my mother was the reason for my power. She was just a giantess, but I know Odin killed them for a reason. And somehow, her, solely her, had the power of the gods without being one. And anything like that, anything that could break up the power balance that Odin had so carefully crafted, he could not have, so he had them killed. And me taken. I'm very old, and I spent many years with them. Heimdall. Oh, we hated each other. We still do, I'm sure.
He certainly does.
I think that's partly due to the fact that not only am I everything that Heimdall hates, I'm the one person in this whole world that can somehow trick him. But it was also prophesied that he would be the one to kill me. And perhaps he will someday. Balder, Freya's son. I loved him. He was my one true friend. Thor was always drunk and angry at himself and everything else. But me and Balder were good friends. When it was prophesied that Balder's death would be the igniting force for the destruction of our worlds, his mother, rightfully so, tried everything she could to prevent his death. So she made him invincible. Gods can die, gods can be killed, sure it takes a lot, but they are not invincible. However, Balder became that. In a spell that perhaps only she knows. She made him impervious to everything.
How'd you do it?
I don't know. Like I said, only she knows. This is a secret she has never told anyone. And her people, the Vanir, are all dead. I assume that it was Vanir magic that did it, but given that she is the last one, and in the state that she is... In the process, however, he lost all feeling. He couldn't touch, could barely taste, couldn't smell, couldn't feel hot or cold, pleasure nor pain. And it drove him mad, to the point that it scared me, watching him go down that path. During all this, Odin's anxiety over the destruction of his world, but he didn't care about them, he only cared about himself. He knew that he would die. It was prophesied that he would in such an event. And so his entire life he tried to prevent that. And it was prophesied, that a Jotnar, a giant, would be the one to kill Balder, and thus starting the destruction of everything. Now, in retrospect, he knew I was a giant. Why did he keep me around? Perhaps he did care about me. Perhaps he was so naive and egotistical that he didn't think someone he raised could do such a thing. But out of that fear, he ordered the genocide of all Jotnar. And of course, he made his attack dog do it, so Thor, in all of his power, more power than I've ever seen, Thor could pummel Tyr into the ground if he wished. Thor killed all the Jotnar, or at least all of them that I thought at the time. Murdered them. All of Jotunheim, millions of people dead by Thor's hand. I blamed Thor. Of course I did. He killed my people. But now, my old wisdom, I know that it wasn't him that did it. It was Odin. Thor was just as afraid of my father as I was. The way Odin could manipulate people was astounding. So of course Thor did what Odin told him to. After the death of all my people, I started lashing out even more. Angry at the world, at myself, I played tricks on everyone. Shaving the head of Thor's wife from the hair that she loved so dearly. I could go into it all, but some of it is... I never, until the very end, never actually physically hurt someone, but I got close. Through this process, I met a woman. A woman which was one of the few remaining Jotnar. I thought they were all dead until I met her, but then she said that there was a small amount that got out, survived, and is in hiding. I became smitten with her quite quickly. Her name was Angraboda. Together we had 3 children. We had Jormungandr, a giant snake. We had Hel, who would then go on to become the Queen of Helheim, protector of the damned. And finally we had Fenrir, a wolf the size of a mountain. Now this sounds strange, of course, a giant and another giant, how could that... My power manifests in strange ways sometimes, and...
He is talking to his goat son.
Yes. He goes... Yes, believe it or not, I've had other children too. No surprise, of course. One time, I turned myself into a horse, and I impregnated...
You can leave it there.
I impregnated myself and had another horse. Long story.
Absolute legend.
I
Anyway,
love mythology.
and then my son, horse, actually went on to become Odin's steed. Anyway, I've had a lot of relationships. I've had a lot of children. Angraboda did die. I watched this Thor killed her. Of course, he killed her after I had killed Balder. I did not intend to kill Balder. I heard of his weakness that was so well kept as a secret, and I exploited it, not thinking that he would actually die. I put some mistletoe oil in his ale, the one thing he could taste. At first he started coughing a bit, and then his skin boiled over and he died seizing on the floor. After that, Odin ordered my death. So did Freya, of course she did. Thor was sent to kill me. Of course, the second I killed Balder, Fimbulwinter started. The winter that would end all winters, that would last until the destruction of the worlds. I spent many days in hiding, me and Angraboda, and my children. Till finally Thor caught us, and with one fell strike of the hammer, Angraboda was no more. Our children, as giant, as powerful as they were, of course they lashed out. Against my best wishes, they attacked Asgard, pretty much destroyed it. And that's when things ended. My children fought off the armies of Asgard led by Tyr, destroying them. And then the final blow was... well, how was it? The destruction of Asgard bled into all the other realms. They started falling out of alignment in the constellation, crashing against one another. I needed a way out. So right before Asgard fully imploded, I created a portal. A portal to here. The closest realm I could find. I should have closed the portal because through it, Tyr, Freyr, and Heimdall got through. I had a chance to close it, but I didn't. If I had, eyes would be alive. Once here, I found that the giants had escaped in a similar manner as to myself. I was the cause of the destruction of their people, so I never showed myself to them. At one point, they even viewed Angraboda as a defector. So, uncomfortable in a world of giants, I decided to make my own. Using remnants of my world, I created the Feywild. Set up shop there. Created all manner of creature. And that's where I've been ever since. Hiding from my past. I need you to know that I love your mother more than anything. I did not just have a small life with her just because I thought it was fun. I wanted to be with her because she made me happy. And then I realized, many years in, that like everything else in my life, I'm just going to destroy it. That I would get the two people left in this world that I care about killed. And so I left. And for that, I'm sorry.
Do you realize that feeling of imminent destruction caused by your hands, you passed it down to me. I can't control anything that I do, and I pretend that I can.
Let me help you then. Because you can. I can show you how.
If I could control it, could I do things like bring eyes back?
Odie, I've already tried. My own guilt for how it made you feel, I already tried. So did your friend Atticus. And in turn, his god. Whatever happened to her is permanent. I can't find her soul. It is gone. I'm sorry.
I think I would like some time to figure all of this out. I think it may be good down the line to have you teach me.
Can I ask you one more question? these chaotic powers you have, it is because your soul is torn between mortality and immortality. So it's exploding. If you want to control this, you would have to become like me.
I don't want to be like you.
Then you have to accept your mortality, and these powers will go away.
Will I have anything left?
Most gods do not have a choice. Tyr did not have a choice. He was born into it. Even if he wished to now, he could not give up his immortality. But because you're my son, and my upbringing being from two mortals, my godhood was not born, it was made. It was given by my mother, whether she knew it or not. So that puts you in the rare position where you do have a choice. But these choices, once your soul settles on it, you cannot go back.
How long do I have to decide?
You could have as long as needed, but the longer you wait, the more explosive, dangerous, and uncontrollable these things will be. It could get to a point where you hurt the people around you.
All right. Well,
I know you care about Saloon. I've been watching. She does not have the choice over her mortality. If you choose to be mortal, any time you do spend with her will be brief in her eyes.
before her, I had no question. I wouldn't want immortality. I feel that it gets boring. I'm sure you feel the same.
To be honest with you, my son, if I had the choice to become immortal, live one last life before dying of old age, I would do it in an instant. But I no longer have a choice. You still do.
If I do decide to reject immortality, and you have no choice, will I have been just a blink?
No. I remember all of my children perfectly, and my love for them has never waned.
You'll have to tell me about them.
I'll let you be now.
He kind of steps forward to embrace his father again, and then he turns around.
Okay. Cohen is gone. Anything else?
You ready to talk some more?
Yes. Your turn.
Okay. I think he kind of just looks homeless right now. He has a saddle slung over his shoulder, torn black, sort of poncho with a hood style thing. Leaves the city.
Okay.
Gets Samson.
Okay.
Kind of takes him into the woods a little bit.
I I think I'd probably be following him. If that would work for you.
I'm gonna have to ask you to wait because I know what this is gonna be, and I don't think it would work out.
Well, I was gonna say, there's so much anger within me at myself, at the world, and I think sort of that primal power is only fueling that, and I kind of give into it a little bit more. But I've kind of had it for long enough, even though I want to, scream out in anger. I also know what else Saloon is capable of. So I set Samson up, kind of tie him to a tree. Maybe start a small fire. And instead of just screaming out to Saloon for contact, in sort of a more precise primal power, I crisscross applesauce in front of the fire. And I call out to Saloon, but in a way to have us invite her to separate my spirit from my body, so we can, like she kind of did in the very beginning during those sort of dream states, kind of loosen my consciousness from my body so she can take that and have a conversation of just soul to soul.
Okay. Very swiftly, you feel yourself kind of getting super lightheaded, and then you're fine, and you look back, and your body has fallen backwards.
Oh, can I stay in the meditative position?
Sure.
Yes. I don't know. I just stand there and wait for Saloon to show up.
You see her more spectral form, a kind of moonlight glow emanating from around her. Her darker skin with those kind of speckles of starlight across her cheeks and her skin. Her curly kind of black hair with streaks of moonlight around it. She kind of sits in front of you, in front of the fire. Atticus? I tried. I did.
I know.
I couldn't find her soul.
I was supposed to be able to take the place of anyone in that party.
Her death was beyond anything normal. Not to mention her soul. It's gone. I don't know where it is. I looked.
To be able to do what I need to do, I need more.
I know. I know you do.
It's your power, yours to give. But I ask for more.
My mother... I saw her do something like this one time. A spell. A spell that the gods tried to eradicate. But my mother knew, and she died with the secret, but she left me tomes, information, and I've seen it. It was a spell created by the ancient high elves of long ago. A spell that could give any mortal the power of a god. However, this power, it rapidly decays, and it ends always with death. this spell, it could allow you to go toe-to-toe with Tyr. Even strength. But you would die. There's no preventing that. No bringing you back. Nothing. You die in a worse way than Eyes did.
I died in proximity.
I know.
I need to do this.
Atticus, this isn't just death. This is death forever. I'm talking you never see your wife again. There would be nothing left. If you did this, yeah, you could probably beat Tyr. I'd wager that at this point in his life, you're better at combat than he is. And with my casting, you would be able to revive and heal everyone around you, ensuring that none of them die, but it ends with complete extermination of everything you are. The other option is we stay the same. Eyes' death was rare. I know I could revive anyone else, as long as it wasn't like that. If we did do this, I would make sure I could bring you to your wife beforehand.
Before I faded into the abyss.
Before I even cast the spell. You'd have as much time as you needed. I know that you people can beat Tyr. I will help you. Cohen, Heimdall, me, Cartharak, if Heimdall can get her out. That's a lot of gods. Even after your display today, I still think the other gods are afraid. They at least want to bide their time, because they know he'll be back. I also don't know how much time you have left until he's back. Sure, he's got to climb his way a far way, but he's also a god, and a very strong one at that. It may only take him a few days.
Well, Tyr's going to die.
But do you have to die too?
You know what, for Quinn's sake, I hope not. But if it comes to that, don't hesitate.
This spell, if it would have to be ready and be focused on just in case you wanted it. I would not be able to fight alongside you. I would have to be casting the spell. And yes, if you had the power of a god, I guarantee you're better than me in combat. 10 out of 10 times. I'm not a fighter. But is it worth it? You drew blood from Tyr. No one has ever done that. I know it can be done.
Like I said, Tyr's going to die. I hope it doesn't come to the spell.
So then what do I do? He could be back any day now.
How long would it take you to cast?
Maybe a day. 20 hours. If I started right now, it could be ready tomorrow night.
Don't start right now. We'll see what happens first.
If he gets out, his anger won't stop him from leveling the city. It's up to you. If I started when I started, I don't think he'll be back tomorrow. Probably not even the next day, but 3 days from now? 4?
I have a couple of people that could hopefully check on progress.
Okay. Also let them know that every layer he gets through, the next one will be significantly easier. If he gets out of the 9th layer in a day, he'll probably get through the next 2 in the same amount of time, and so on and so on. Heck, the last 4 may just take him a few hours. Just call upon me if you make up your mind.
Okay.
But if you do this, if I do this for you, there's one condition. You have to tell them you cannot keep this a secret. They have to know. Your children have to know.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
No. Thank you.
Alright. She fades away. You slowly start to sink back in your body. You've been in the woods, walking, following this strange fellow, and you just watched as his entire body just fell backwards, passed out, and he's been like that for probably an hour. Until finally he wakes back up. The choice is yours how you respond, interrupt whenever.
Turn over and go to bed.
Okay.
He's next to Samson.
Alright.
think I
Anything
would-
from anyone?
Did he set up a campfire?
Yeah.
Anything like that? I think I'd sit at the campfire. Just smoke a while. Watch
Okay.
him sleep.
Okay. If that's it, then I can move on to another thing.
Yeah.
Alright. Are you guys just getting to bed, getting as much rest as you can? Okay. Ersa.
Oh man.
Dream.
Not with how horribly I was singing it. Oh, what's my voice? Oh gosh.
Ersa.
Yes.
In your sleep, you feel a very sudden jostling under your shoulder. You kind of open your eyes. You're in a completely different room, a luxurious looking room. You hear and see above you,
Isabel, wake up. It's time. I realize it's early, but they're here before I expected them. Please, hurry, get dressed. It's an exciting day.
and he leaves your room. You have no control. But as you look down on your body, you see the finely pruned fingernails, very nice green skin, very familiar look. You go over to your wardrobe and put on a fine gown before leaving into luxurious arched hallways. And you head on down to your father's study. Excuse me, sorry. As you enter his study, it's still early morning, the rain outside, lightning clashing on the exterior. You see a large table around the somewhat messy yet very organized locale. You see at this table there are 4 men, all of which are elves. You see they are wearing very mage-like attire, robes, various sigils strewn about their bodies, spell components on their side, and you see that in front of them, and as Skinner sits down and you sit right next to him, there are dinner plates, fine utensils, napkins, beautiful little decorations across the table. You can tell as you step in the room and sit down that these 4 men look at you and kind of judge you, seeing this small little creature that Skinner's seemingly keeping as a pet. Skinner, kind of with a smile on his face,
Welcome, all of you. Truly, I have been very eager for this meeting, and I would like to introduce you to my daughter, Isabel.
they all kind of... Pardon me, Skinner. I did not know that you kept pets. Skinner, straight-faced.
Grandmeister Talon. It has been many years since we have met. Much has changed. But she is my daughter. And I am more fond of her than I have ever been of you. So, I ask that in my home you please treat those I love with respect. Please pay her an apology.
He goes, an apology? For a little thing such as that? Where did you even get that? The swamps? Look, she's wearing a little cute dress. The others kind of... Skinner, completely straight-faced.
Please, apologize to her.
He goes, I don't think I'm going to. Besides, we're here for more important matters. Skinner, you had us come here for a reason. Please do enlighten us. And where's the food? We are starving. Skinner.
Yes, the food. It is being prepared by my chefs at the moment. It should be out quite frequently. But I wish to cover something beforehand. I realize that your journey has been very long, very treacherous, and there will be food, dessert, everything you could desire. But first, I would like to make a proposition to the lot of you.
They all kind of... Alright.
Magic is one of the most important things in this world. An essential building block of everything. Every race, every person, every creature alive, plant, rock, atom of water can thank magic for its creation. Yet, only people like us can hope to possess it. Why? Shouldn't everyone have access? Why only the wealthy? Those that are blessed with long lifespans? Why not people like my daughter? Shouldn't they be able to achieve such high potency of magic? With your help, I would like to change that.
They all kind of... This is how it has been for millions of years. Magic is something that you have to be born with. Magic is something that you have to work hard on. We all worked hard to be where we are.
You were born into this. You live upwards of 300 years. Yet you say that everyone should just have that. What about this? My daughter, she will not live 300 years. She was not born with such potent ability.
He goes, that may be true. But the systems of magecraft that we have set up in this world depend on not everyone having it. If everyone had it, it would be a disaster. Everyone being able to possess power that could destroy everyone around them.
You're right. So I suppose we should just let those in power be the ones that can destroy people's lives, huh? Only those with enough coin to back their ventures, to fuel their book reading, should be able to destroy villages, huh?
That is not what I am saying. What I am saying is that magic is something that needs to be organized. It is something that needs structure. Sure, you're not born into it, but you can learn.
You can learn. What about those that are born in a place where books are not in existence? What if you can't read? What if you don't have a teacher or a private tutor to teach you as you grow up?
He goes, magic books are expensive to both produce and distribute. What do you expect us to do? Just divvy them out to everyone? That would be disaster for our guild. That would be disaster for you. You depend on that too.
In all your powers combined, you couldn't just copy the books. You couldn't just teleport them places. Why must you have such a stranglehold on knowledge which you possess? It seems to me that the idea of someone like my daughter being smarter than you is intimidating.
They all kind of seem stunned for a moment. The man kind of goes, look, maybe we can continue this discussion, but can we please just eat first? We've been traveling for a very long time to get here.
Yes. Pardon me. I will help you eat.
You see the man kind of thank you. Kind of grabs at his abdomen. He kind of stands up out of fear of this uncomfort, this pain that is happening. You feel his arms kind of go up his sternum as if something feels like it's crawling upwards. You see he then starts grabbing his neck. The rest of the mages in the room kind of stand up out of fear as well. They go, Skinner, what is this? Stop this right now! You even see one of them casts a very, very potent looking, potentially counterspell directly at Skinner. You see it collides against Skinner's body, ricochets off, slamming into a wall and destroying an entire bookshelf. Skinner unfazed, unflinching. He just continues looking at the man that is choking on something. You see out from his mouth, you see the end of an intestine. The intestine being pulled by an invisible force drops onto the plate in front of him and begins swirling like ice cream. The man... His entire large intestine swirled out in front of him. Skinner goes,
Enjoy your meal. I made it fresh.
the man collapse, dead, onto his own intestines. The rest of the men, in shock, unmoving, they kind of look to one another. One of them, very quickly, out of fear, a massive ball of potent electrical fire is summoned in his hands and is shot out across the table, lighting up the entire room. You see Skinner puts out his hand, and this massive ball of flame is shrunk. Skinner catches it out of the air.
You would think, for such powerful mages, you'd be a little smarter than that.
Flicks it out. You see it collides into the chest of this one mage, burning a complete hole through him, going out the other end, and the singed hole around his entire chest starts cindering as the man falls forward. The other two mages, Skinner in a commanding presence,
Sit down. On behalf of your friend, I ask that you apologize to my daughter.
they two kind of look at each other.
We're sorry for the words of our peer.
Thank you. Do you think that my plan is good? Please be honest.
They go,
Yes, it's very good, Skinner. Thank you for sharing.
Isabel, do you think they're telling the truth? My daughter doesn't believe you. She is smarter than a lot of you.
you see they both kind of start choking as well as their intestines are slowly pulled out from their mouth. Blood coming from their ears, from their eyes, as they collapse. Skinner bends down across from you.
I apologize for their behavior. I should never have spoken to you in that way.
Clasps your hand.
I need you to know that you are everything to me. I love you dearly. And together, you and me, I'm gonna build you a better world so that people like you, also misunderstood by people that are far more idiotic. These mages, before tonight, they thought they controlled everything. They thought that they were the most powerful they ever were. Some humorous irony, if I say so. Never enough. I will clean up this mess. Perhaps go practice your harp. I would love to hear it.
You kind of run off. And the last glimpse you see as you peer through the ever-closing door, you see Skinner kind of, sort of, the power catching up to him. You see he kind of bends down and puts his arms on the table. Reaches into his pocket, grabs out a large gauge syringe with this glowing liquid inside. A bit of blood drops from his nose. You see he raises his hands. All the corpses and the bodies start levitating up into the room. You see he kind of pushes them, mounds the corpses together, kind of opens the window and just tosses them right out into the sea below. On that, you wake up.
Girl, you left us with this? Girl, huh?
Ersa, this felt exactly the same as your dreams of Elveron, Ephraim. Somehow, in Iza's demise, your minds merged in a way similar to Ephraim and Elveron. You guys all sleep as soundly as you can. You wake up in the morning, the sun is out, you're all still alive. Atticus, you wake up. Can you please describe what Atticus sees when he wakes up?
He would see a halfling woman. Her feet kind of up on a log. This
It's
wicked.
Mouse.
What?
It's Mouse.
It is not Mouse. A wicked-looking pipe in her mouth, just smoking tobacco furiously. She's got kind of a long leather overcoat on, a tricorn hat kind of crookedly put on her head. And she's just kind of smoking, watching you, waiting for you to wake up.
What, you gonna pickpocket a homeless man, move on?
Right. We both know you're not homeless.
Did you just... Like, I check if I still have my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's your business then?
I'm here to make sure you and your lot don't die. Don't eat dirt.
Me and my lot.
Your friends back in the city.
Okay.
You would know exactly who this is. by
Oh,
the
I
way.
know.
Okay.
I'm drawing it out
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the. She's drawing it out.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
That's a shame. I used to sneak you sweets on holidays under the table. All right, come on, little laddie. Let's go.
I still don't know who you are.
I don't want to explain it twice, so if we could go back to your friends, I bet I can explain it to all of you.
I don't
at
know
once.
you.
Listen, a couple of days ago, you sent a very worrying message to my mum, and I. I'm here to clean up whatever mess you've made of this situation, right? So get up. Come on.
So you're...
I fed your horse already. He's a sweetheart. I'll pat him. It's like a bun.
No, I all due respect, I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not?
Again, no offense. I do not think that you are capable of keeping us out of the dirt.
Listen,
If you're here for the dragon, go for the dragon, but running with me, with us, is not a good idea.
why not?
And I can highly advise against it.
Why not? What have you done?
A lot.
Well, you're back to do a bit more, because I can't do it by myself. Can I? Otherwise, I already would have done it.
You...
Listen, do I need to hold you at gunpoint? What do I need to do here?
You can try.
Just get up.
I don't want to go back into the city. Can I just stay here?
No. Come on.
I don't know you.
I'll put my hand out.
No!
Come on.
No! I don't know you. You walked up to me. I'm in the middle of the woods. You obviously tracked me here.
I've been tracking you for a while. I tracked you from the city. It's like, oh shit, he's leaving his group. Ben, make sure he doesn't go and off himself or something. Come on.
That was dark.
Didn't your friend just die?
Yes.
Well, I'm here to make sure that the rest of you don't eat dirt, so I'm here. Come on. They need you. You need me, and I need you. So, what kind of stuff?
Why do I need you?
You see a mouse climb out of her jacket onto her shoulder, and you see he goes.
Right, Henry, you're very intimidating. Not now. I can't believe Mum made you make
Can I sit Caladwin on Henry?
You just throw him on top of Henry.
Well,
whoa.
I look at Caladwin and look at the mouse.
Caladwin starts chasing after the mouse when he
get your
turns
fight.
into a large Feywild wolf and growls at Caladwin.
Caladwin turns into an alligator.
They kind of just both snarl at each other, and like neither one of them is like losing any ground, and they're kind of just.
While this is going on, I
you're both
start
big,
packing
you're
up
both
my.
intimidating.
I pack up my bedroll and get this saddle back
I'll
on
talk
Samson.
in Sylvan and just be like, calm down.
Henry turns back into a mouse.
You're both scary.
Walks up
You're
to the
both
alligator.
I think Caladwin, in alligator form, blinks to just above Henry and just
Squeaking.
back to cat form and just tries to start
Oh,
pawing.
come on. I'll pick Henry up by the scruff of his neck and put him on my shoulder. Can't believe Mum made me bring you. Can't believe that.
Henry with you. If anything goes wrong, he can talk to me, and then I can come. This is last resort.
Okay.
You have to take him with you.
I'll tell you who I am. Fine. I'm your great aunt. It's cloudy. But it's true, I used to feed you sweets under the table on holidays.
Can I roll like a history check or something? Or like an intelligence check?
Sure, yeah, intelligence.
It's like when you have family gatherings and they're like, oh my gosh, you've gotten so big, how are you? And you're like, who are you? Yeah, hi.
18 plus 3 for 21.
You think you have a good idea. You know Mavis was very good friends with the person you messaged.
Yes.
And you know that this person you messaged had several children, one of which you think this one was named Paula.
Fuck you, Lillian.
I thought it might be.
Damn it.
So you're
So cute.
Paula.
Yeah.
Doesn't that
Probably
mean you
remember.
already died once?
Here's funny in character. Paula would grow up to be like this.
Does Paula still know Mage Hand? From Dovahkiin.
Oh.
Oh, more than just that.
Oh. Okay.
So you do remember me?
Yes.
Surprise. I was always your favourite. Great aunt. Kind of punched him on the shoulder. Come on. Let's get you back to the people you care about. And so you won't mope here in the woods.
I wasn't
Think about dying.
I
out
wasn't
here.
moping.
You were mope.
I was not
You were
moping. I was
moping.
having a serious conversation with someone.
Alright,
And
about
moping.
Huh?
what? About what?
Doesn't matter.
About what?
How I can save my friends.
Against?
Against?
For God you've been fighting? What cost? See, I know you.
We
I'll slap your shoulder.
strategized.
Right, strategize. Come on. Listen, I haven't got all day. We're burning daylight. Your friends could be anywhere right now. I'm not wasting magic looking for them.
Okay.
What?
Sounds good.
Come on, Samson.
Samson really likes it. He like.
I guess I follow Paula.
Samson kind of like treks even past you to walk beside Paula.
So there's this small halfling confidently walking down the road and just a giant dwarf shadowing her in like a black cloak.
With an even bigger, ginormous horse.
Yeah.
Oh, you're making them jealous. Oh, stop it.
Samson goes to you. You think he's jealous?
I mean, he should be.
He's been a little sad. Making me sad.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You fed Apple.
That's true. I've got more if you want some. Oh, yeah. I've got no apple.
Thank you. You guys continue on. Yeah,
All
she's
right.
like talking to your horse.
I'm here for him now. I'm going to take care of him. I'm going to take care of all of them.
You begin the long trek back into Gordonsky. It takes quite a while. What conversation happens throughout this?
You've got a nice beard since last saw you. I mean, you were like 3, so. I mean, figured.
Had 2 eyes too.
Oh, yeah. What happened to the one?
Cut out.
Oh.
Samson goes, we lost a ball too.
Samson know that. He's heard.
Oh.
You can understand common?
That is great.
I won't mock you for that one. I actually lost both my balls. But you know what? For surviving wars, we came out pretty good. Look at the shoulders on him. Look at those. Ah, like a Dorito.
What's a Dorito?
It's a fake thing.
She's inherited the meta ability.
Yeah,
of
Metamouse's ability to make fourth wall references.
Boner has entered the arena.
Are you hungry?
Sure. I mean, I ate some berries like while I was waiting for you to wake up, but
Little creepy.
I mean,
I go
do you
to a
want-
stand and buy 3 dwarvish breakfast burritos from like a food stand.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, hell yeah. Oh,
How much does that run me?
3 good bread, probably a gold.
Damn.
That's expensive. Holy shit.
3, they're massive.
This inflation is crazy.
your mom used to
Like
make
that's easy. Like one of those burritos is easily like 3 meals.
Polly eats it like shockingly fast.
Just
Your mom used to make those?
I ate one. Then I let Kaladwin nibble on one and feed the rest to Samson, and then give one to Paula.
Oh,
Henry's on.
Henry, you're fine. You're tiny. This will fill you up. Here, take a bite.
Awful
Alright.
little creature.
Alright.
He stored in his cheeks. Like a little hamster.
A little bit, yeah.
Always so confused.
I haven't had one of these since your mom made them.
How is my mom?
She's good. I mean, I haven't seen her in a while either, but I figure she's good. Haven't had any funerals, stuff like that.
That's good. Doing the awkward kid thing, talking to relatives you sort of know.
Mm-hmm.
How's school been?
Relatives
You
you
didn't go
know
to school.
of.
Fantastic.
What's the major?
Didn't finish.
Rock War. Oh.
No, I worked in the mines for a little while as a kiddo, and then I got drafted.
Children yearn for the mines and war.
The mines and the
Place
minefields.
is not. Well, these breeders are the best thing about here.
I will say, going through the entire city, you have not seen one stretching,
Based.
which is very rare.
Let's go.
So, like, how far is this brothel? Should I just fly us or?
Sorry.
I'm being
I was having a
distracted
really
right
good
now.
time. Oh shit.
Bo, for the audience, Bo has crawled onto the table and Connor has the fog machine going, so Bo is like playing in it. And he's
having the
What do you
best
think he would think of just a little bit of this?
I think he's scared of like the.
I don't even know if
fog
it's
machine.
working.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No,
it's
not.
probably out.
Potentially.
It's not. And before people get on our asses for having a fog machine around a cat, it's not fog.
It's water vapor.
It's water vapor.
based.
Yep.
It's water vapor.
He's
Because it's
vegan.
like a reptile
It's a
humidifier
reptile
from.
fogger.
Yeah.
So he's just getting a little damp while he sits.
He's gonna be so stinky.
This room's gonna smell like wet cat.
Yeah.
I believe it's another 2 steps and we'll be there.
You finally get to the brothel.
My legs are too short.
She's like, that was like 12 steps, not 2. Not on the computer, mister.
You guys get on the inside of the brothel.
Hey, hello.
A
just
large
having
man
something.
opens.
Hey.
Notice know this one?
Yeah. He does.
Come on in. Paula, as you step in, there are some beautiful women in here.
Paula's gay as hell, huh?
Oh, she is so gay.
How old
You
is
heard that
Paula?
voice and thought she was straight?
Oh my. How does it keep turning back on? No flash.
She's gonna keep that tidbit to herself. Oh.
The rest of you
She'll kind of tip her hat.
would see
Some of the ladies as they go by.
would see Atticus along with a stranger walk in.
Attic, you brought another short person.
Not my choice though. Everyone, this is Paula.
Hi, Paula.
Tall shadow in the corner.
Apparently,
I'll be like, she's sleeping in. It's okay.
Standing next to
Quiet
her.
organ music plays.
my
I like your style. It's nice.
my grandmother,
Thank
Mavis, ran with the crew. In that crew was a halfling druid. That druid had a child. This is that child here to protect us.
Well, technically, I'm like adopted, so I'm not even technically the actual child of. It's complicated. Hey. You're cutie. Here to make sure you don't
Well,
get.
how old do you look?
She looks. I should probably describe her.
Yes.
I mean, she's 300 something years
She's
old.
a halfling woman, on the taller side for halflings. Long gray hair in a single braid that kind of runs down her back, and she usually has it tossed over her shoulder. Tricorn hat, long kind of leather trench coat that she wears, big heavy boots. You can kind of tell she has some weapons tucked in under that trench coat, but you can't quite see them yet. Bright eyes, brighter smile, kind of wry, mischievous. They are brown, her eyes. And even though she looks kind of maybe late 50s, early 60s, she's got a life to her that, like,
She's
You
got a
can't-
young soul.
can't quite. She's got a young soul. You can't quite place it. She has some great smile lines, but she also has some frowning lines. It looks like she's been pretty tired lately, but she's trying to stay positive.
While you all get acquainted, I must go somewhere.
Right, where you going?
Leave.
Where you going?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter,
Attic,
actually.
you can't just
Because-
leave all the time. Remember, we just had the conversation in Augo about how I do this, and you don't like it.
I'm not going to go fight someone. I'm going to go talk to someone.
So was
I go
I.
with you, or you stay.
Okay.
Okay.
While you get acquainted, must take care of something. It's gotten a lot easier. Thought we'd have to kill our way in, but I think we could just go talk.
Can you just tell us where you're going?
There's recently been a change up in leadership. This new leadership seems to like us. I sent a message to your mother about the trapped silver dragon and how they're hunting a gold dragon. I'm gonna go talk to the king and ask him to release the silver dragon.
Great. That's kind of what I'm hearing.
Exactly. So as
So-
soon as we do that, the faster I can get rid of you. Because you're getting on my nerves. And we've walked for about 3 hours.
Rude. Right. That's fair. I'm Paula. You lot look like you've seen some things lately.
Our friend evaporated yesterday, so yeah.
Ooh.
Womp womp.
You just say what?
About eyes evaporating.
I would like to acknowledge that Sev has her, instead of like she's worn her like the sheer veil, I think I said, through some of Gordonsky, like passing like stretchings and stuff to pay respects, but today she's got the more solid veil as is traditional in Ikvale to show that you're like grieving for someone you knew personally.
This
And
is...
so
I mean, I thought I'd find something bad, but this is... You look dreary. Straight dreary. Not good at this. Can I help?
Can you bring her back?
Oh. Your friend.
Yeah.
I mean... I've got a spell that, like, could bring her back as something else, but I don't think she'd like living as a squirrel or something.
It was more of a sarcastic question.
I say could help. I mean... Well... If leadership's... You're sure he's gonna let a dragon go, though, right? Silver dragon?
That's why I'm going to talk to him. We'll see how it goes.
I was all prepared to come slinging weaponry and planning a heist, but if it's as simple as talking...
We'll see if it is.
If you're not back here in 2 hours, we're coming for you.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
going with you, right?
If you'd like.
That's my friend in there. Hope you know.
Why don't we all go?
Okay.
That's wise.
On our way. Pack up our shit. Get out.
Okay. You make the trek, which luckily isn't too far, to the keep. Everyone in the town, you guys are now famous. You are the ones that banished Tyr, which sparked the overturning of the king and brought a whole new age of politics into the city. You are immediately invited into the castle, and Shold was actually, you can tell he was waiting patiently out front, like, oh, finally! Okay. Crazy things happening. I'd like to say that most of it is positive, but I am terrified for the future. Walk with me, walk with me. He kind of guides you to the city. Okay, the new king and queen, right? Well, I guess she's the old queen. I guess they've actually been planning this for quite some time. So do not take credit for this, but I think what you did with Tyr certainly brought up their timeline. As you can see, the city's already gone through several changes. No more stretchings, that's gone. No more taking of people's hands for just stealing sort of thing. I've also learned from, some eavesdropping, the black salt that went missing. It was the king's son that did it.
He did a really good job at pretending to be incompetent.
Yes, I was surprised by that too. From what I heard when he was speaking with his mother, they said that the reason they did it was because they knew that his father, was so gung-ho to destroy Kosai that in the process he would destroy all of Gordansky, which, pretty smart. He knew that if he had the black salt, he would do something rash with it, so he took it. He says that there's...
to one of you, whoever's nearest to me. I don't know who it would be.
Probably you.
You guys know that this guy's in disguise, right?
Yeah, we know.
Okay.
Also, who are you?
Oh, hey.
My grandmother's friend's daughter.
Okay, so you
know her, yes.
Oh, alright. Well,
you're in disguise. Pretty cool.
Shh. I miss eyes so much. Okay, yes, follow me. The king has been very eager to speak with you. Shold takes you to the chamber where the king is sitting. You can see him and his mother sit on equal-sized thrones right next to one another. They both kind of acknowledge your entrance. You can see they're already redecorating. There used to be like a lot more windows in here, but the previous king had like plastered over them and like made it look a lot more darker and intimidating. They're kind of removing that. Oh, actually, I guess I could actually play the background. The background. Anyway. Yes. You see he stands up, his large, half-giant frame. He goes, "This is probably a surprise, to say the least. For that, I apologize. I needed to keep our plans quiet. And to be honest, I do not trust you to this day, but we're getting there. Yes."
I just wanted to say, and I don't say this to kiss up, but I apologize. I mean that genuinely. I fell for your act. Hook, line, and sinker.
I'm glad it worked. I apologize as well.
Do you actually hate me?
The only person I actually hate is dead now, and the other one is banished, so now I don't hate you. Any animosity I showed towards you all was a ploy on my end to convince the king that I was on his side. He'd grown doubtful, so if I openly tried to kill you all in hopes of impressing him, and then afterwards going forward with him with the information which you told me, it made him trust me even more. And in the end, I got him killed. But enough about him. He's dead and forgotten. What's important is now. Tyr is banished, and he will be back with a vengeance very soon. When he sees that I'm in the position of his endowed king, he will be very upset. Perhaps, maybe not at me or the crown, But his anger is not to be understated. He will destroy this city if he gets carried away. He will level it, start anew. He's a god, he's immortal, he doesn't care. What really pisses him off, though, is all of you. And although the one that banished him is dead, and I am sorry for that, he will have to point his anger towards someone else, which for him that will not be hard to do. My guess is Odie or any of the number of you. You're a new face.
Aye.
You gonna tell me why you're here?
I've got business in the city and with these,
What's your business?
I was gonna ask about that.
Then you tell me.
Well, part of her business, I don't. She's a friend, daughter of my grandmother's friend. So, the dragons that Gorlansky keeps,
Yes.
there is a silver dragon in those ranks that
Just the one.
we, well,
You got more?
friends of us,
There's one.
No, there's no more.
want to see her, him, who is it?
Her.
Her?
You want us to free her?
I mean, if you'd be so kind.
Here's the position I'm at with the dragons. No matter how you look at it, objectively, having these dragons, it will be very important if Kosai decides to attack. They are one of our most valuable assets, weapons, however you look at it. Now, yes, they are suffering. And I don't want to see that. But I have a city to run now. Yes, go for it. But I have a city to run now. And if I free all the dragons, what will happen? Well, those of them that are more inclined to violence will destroy this city out of revenge. And they will destroy every outlying village. They will scorch everything. Just as Dula destroyed Winterspire. We will not stand a chance. Sure, the metallic dragons, they will flee, seeking their own homelands, and they won't see a point in retribution. But most of our dragons are chromatic, so that's the issue.
I see you as the lesser of two evils, but if you're... Please release the silver dragon because of friends' interests.
And I have no problem with that. It's one dragon which happens to be a metallic, which means they are less inclined for violence and are easier to reason with. In terms of the other dragons, up to this date we have 10 fully grown red dragons, 2 ancient reds. We have 15 blue dragons, 8 of which are fully grown adults. The only ancient one in the city is now dead, but that does not matter. We have 6 green, 2 are ancients. We have 4 black, 1 is ancient. And finally, we have 11 white. 3 are ancient.
So that's how many I'm not quite good at maths, so you'll have to add it up for me.
It's over 50.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Are you looking for our input on the situation?
Absolutely.
Do you have other metallic dragons or just the silver?
We do. We have a handful of copper, bronze. I think that's about it. We have no gold and the 1 silver.
Wait, wasn't there that?
We did, actually, now that I think about it. We do have 1 gemstone dragon. An ancient. Captured from the Feywild.
Right.
Would I have ever heard about a gemstone dragon being taken from the Feywild?
Make a history check.
Is that the sapphire dragon?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
16.
Apollo would definitely know
16. I think you probably would have heard that, like, some of the ecosystems that this gemstone dragon helped cultivate has been lacking ever since its capture. But you don't know much more beyond that.
Well, for the metallic dragons, and we actually never got to your insight check.
But I would knew that, like, I would have known prior that there was one that was
Do we want to
captured.
cover the insight check real quick before
Sure,
I
yes,
start
would you?
spouting off?
I want to know, is he hiding stuff from us?
That's so general.
I got a 35.
You got a 35.
A natural 20 for my first roll.
Honestly,
of Apollo.
he seems to be very truthful.
It's very truthful.
I mean,
What about
He
his...
seems like an actually highly intelligent man that used his size and bastardness to really put on a facade of stupidity so that he could manipulate those around him to finally be in this position.
What about
I
his,
like
what
this
about
guy.
his mom?
This is
His mom
complicated,
is-
but I like him.
His mom is sitting just quietly. You can tell she's highly intelligent and well. She's following all of your eyes, listening to everything. She just hasn't found a reason to perk up yet.
Right.
well,
Well then, release metallic dragons, release the sapphire dragon, I suppose it's got. I mean, that's one I know of.
yeah, let the... I mean, I agree that releasing chromatic dragons would only result in death, so maybe, as sad as it is, keep those beings, but don't continue to breed them. I mean, you have hundreds of years of defense.
I would absolutely be willing, and we've talked about the consequences of this, to release all the metallic dragons.
I mean, there
but
was
none of the chromatic.
What
there
about-
was just a change up in leadership. Say we know what we did is wrong. Please, like, ask for forgiveness and see that it was one man responsible for the evil. And I imagine they'd probably leave. I don't know dragons.
That I don't know about.
Can you let go of the sapphire dragon? I'm sure you know I'm from the Feywild, and
Sapphire?
you said the gemstone dragon.
Yes, I didn't clarify. This is a ruby dragon.
Ruby, my bad. Anyway, last time I was back home, I heard that we had one that was captured, and there have been some areas of the Feywild that have been suffering since its departure.
As long as it returns to the Feywild, I have no problem with that.
Okay, if you want me to talk
I do not
to it
know
first.
the temperament of gemstone as well as I know chromatic and metallic, but if you vouch for it, then I trust
Well, I'd like to talk to it first. I've never met it personally, and I'd like to ensure that no one here gets hurt.
that can be done.
Thank you.
All right, dragon situation sorted
What?
out. They're being freed, the metallic,
Well,
and this ruby.
here's the thing. So with our idea of dragons, you know, the whole good, the whole all one kind being bad, or one kind being good, it's kind of well, it's mostly right, but I've known some dragons to be quite vengeful, even when we're supposed to be the good ones.
Like who?
Oh, it's a long story.
So then we just release the silver. And
Not
potentially
saying
the
that
ruby.
either. I, frankly, am not the biggest fan of keeping things in captivity, but I think maybe you should let us talk to them.
Oh, I'll let you talk to them before we release them.
And maybe, this is complicated. I hate politics.
I'm sorry, but
you come here with all these propositions yourself. I have no idea who you are. Sure, I don't know these people very well, but at least I've seen them in action, and I believe I understand exactly what their motives are. I have no idea what yours are. So pardon me, but anything you say I'm taking with a heavy grain of salt.
Like a tablespoon.
That's fair.
Perhaps even a bucket.
Wow.
Okay, so I am, Sananga, surely.
You don't need to introduce yourself. A place somewhere else where a person comes from, I do not care where any of you come from. What matters is your intent. And I feel as if I know the rest of these people's intent, but I do not know yours. I will let you all speak with the dragons, but this one, if she goes with you, I want you all to have her under your deepest observation.
Fair enough.
All right. All right.
Other business. Tyr. He will be back within the week. I guarantee it.
We have someone on that.
Heimdall?
Yeah.
And what is he doing about it?
He's trying to get Carthrax.
Carthrax.
The
God
only...
of mortality and immortality?
Yeah.
You hope to take away Tyr's immortality?
Yes.
Okay. Problem with that. Taking away a god's immortality does not lessen their power. Just makes it so they can die of old age. Tyr will still be alive and at full power.
But then we'll have Carthrax, Heimdall, Loki, and Saloon.
I'm assuming these are gods.
Yeah.
So when Tyr gets back, the first place he will come is here. And he will not leave until he has answers and revenge. If a fight starts between half a dozen gods, what do you think will happen to this city?
The continent will probably be leveled.
Precisely. So, what are we to do about that?
Not to put you on the spot, Ersa, but you have any suggestions?
You are similar to Elveron, I take it.
That's right.
Okay. Elveron, if you have similar abilities, could teleport Tyr somewhere.
We could also probably get Elveron's help too, I suppose.
But what it took to teleport him in the first place, Tyr, killed your friend.
It was something slightly different than teleportation.
It's still something that is out of his control and that he will resist.
What if we meet him on the first level of hell?
Just before he gets out.
Keep it off our plane entirely.
Speaking of which, I should check where he is, and I'm going to use some planar points to scry on Tyr.
You scry on the god of war and justice.
Fighting through the...
You see, he is in a plane of fire and ice combining, swirling amongst it. And he is single-handedly fending off an army of these creatures, barreling towards him. You see they're actually similar size to him, maybe a foot shorter, and you see he is taking his weapon and just slicing them up like they are hay brought with a sickle. It is a sight. He is coated in blood. Looking at this realm, obviously you've never been here before, you've never seen it, but you capture glimpses of mountainous spires of ice and fire. You capture what looks like rivers that are frozen over, but underneath lava flows. It's this intertwining of heat and cold that you see, and he's fending off all of these creatures. Then you're taken back.
Do I have any semblance
Of which
what
layer?
level?
Do a history check.
'Cause I'm so good at history. Ooh! Rolled a 19, so 19.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. From what you know, from what you've heard or read, however the information came about, you believe that he is probably in the 4th layer, which means overnight he climbed through 3 completely.
Uh-oh, sisters.
He's essentially
And just so you know, just for flavor,
right.
the 4th layer, the realm you've looked at, is Niflheim, or what once used to be. The layer after this is what once was Muspelheim, so the fire and the ice mixed.
So he's on the border.
So he's on the border. Whoa,
Border.
he's on the border about to get to the 5th.
The 3rd?
Or technically the 3rd, yeah.
Yeah.
The question is, what layer was that portal on? Is he trying to get there? Will that delay him?
Well, the portal that you destroyed
Was on the 9.
was to 9.
So he's
to
already
Asgard.
discovered that.
He's climbing out of it. So he's climbing upwards. He started at the very, very bottom, level 9, where Asgard used to be. He probably found out that that portal is no longer there. Mm-hmm. So then he decided that he's just going to fight all the way up. Mm-hmm. So he fought through Asgard, fought through the next one, and the next one, and now he's on this one.
Do I know where he will pop out?
You don't.
Okay.
I'm sure if you did research, perhaps Elveron knows.
Okay. He's halfway here.
What?
So you might be here by end of day.
Our timeline is significantly lower. He could be here in 24 hours. Maybe less. Probably less. He will pop out, most likely in Magmar. It's the thinnest divide between the hells and this world.
Where's Magmar?
I'll pull up the exact mileage for you, but you guys keep talking, sorry.
Northwest of here.
It's across a bit of ocean, but it's actually fairly close.
He can teleport, though.
Atticus, that might be our best bet.
Meet him in the 1st or meet him on Magmar?
Aren't there people in Magmar?
That's where the tiefling's homeland is.
Yeah, that too.
No, we can't kill the sexy tieflings.
Yeah, there are people there.
So, meet him in the 1st layer. And just go at it.
Are we going to hell then?
Terrified.
He would tell you that it's about 800 miles away,
I think
and it requires the crossing of the sea.
If we don't want people to die, we meet him in the 1st layer. Can I talk to all of you in the other room? No offense to you, King.
None taken.
Sure.
Just for the ones fighting, some strategy to awkwardly walk out of the throne room.
Okay.
What is it?
I thought I'd have a little bit more time to decide on something like this. And with such a fresh wound, I feel bad. But the conditions were for me to tell you, not let you decide for me. I, through certain means, have access to ancient magic that would be able to put me toe to toe with Tyr.
I knew that's what you were talking about.
But as a result, and this is where the fresh wound comes in, I will be dead.
Don't you fucking dare.
You don't get to decide.
Yeah, but I can ask.
Well, ultimately, I made a deal a long time ago that if any one of you died, as the person who's already lived a life, as the person who's already raised children, as the person who's already completed a story, I would have the opportunity to take your place and let you continue yours. I tried it with Eyes, in an attempt to protect her, in an attempt for her to continue her story, and it didn't work. I was supposed to die in Proximity during the war. I was supposed to die in that arena. Neither of them worked, so don't turn me down of an opportunity that I've been thirsting for a very long time. I'd much rather die here than old and as a drunk. Is my explaining valid?
You're a stubborn ass.
So you won't die.
I've been wanting to for a very long time in a way that would give me heroic triumph.
What about Samantha?
I've failed with my children.
Oh,
I've
shut
abused
up.
them. They don't want anything to do with me, so don't bring up my children.
I don't think that's
Sounds
true.
To me, that
I think-
story's not over then.
I think that you have some making up to do still.
I've tried and she doesn't want it, and I
yeah,
respect
those kinds
that.
of wounds take time.
Well, it's either me or thousands.
We can do it without you dying.
I don't think we can.
We go to hell, we
No,
bring
I know
Shmuel,
we
bring
can't.
Kothrax, we bring Heimdall, we bring Cohen. We all help.
I don't think we can. I think Tyr will kill all of us in a fit of rage, make it through Magmar, kill all the tieflings. He'll still be mad, make his way across the sea,
I
back to
think
his
we
home
can
in
do it.
Gordansky, and level it. Killing, not thousands, millions, my apologies.
I think we can do it.
I don't think we can.
Freya said that a single planeswalker took Ovin's eye. I think Elveron and I together, along with 4 or 5 other gods, and you, can take his head.
I'm nothing compared to all of you.
You drew blood from Tyr.
With the assistance of godlike magic.
Okay.
I do stuff with the assistance of planar magic. What does that have to do with anything?
Because that's a pool of magic that you can pull from. That is your own.
I use godlike magic.
It's not mine.
I am one lowly dwarf with an axe who's been trying to fight for the right cause for his entire life.
Okay, so you do this, you die,
Yes.
Tyr's back, and then what? We deal with this hammer guy, and then we deal with Skinner. We don't even know what we're getting into, and you're just gonna leave? Forever?
Well, it's either decimation tomorrow.
You don't know that.
I hit him as hard as I could. I gave him a paper cut.
Yes.
I can't do anything.
Not you alone. Attic, we have help.
I would be sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else do the work.
Attic.
Practically. I can draw fire as I always do. I mean, I'll probably pass either way. I'm the person that's chased after. This entire time I've been protecting all of you. I get hit over and over and over again to save your blood.
I watched
Mine has
my
been
village
still-
turn to dust. I watched eyes turn to dust, and I am not going to watch you turn to dust.
Then turn away. It's not your choice. I mean no disrespect to you at all. Okay.
What if we go to wherever the portal to hell is, And she closed it. Before he could get out.
Well, it's a veil. It's not really a portal.
Well, said you got planar magic. Can you make a veil a wall?
Ursa, make either history or intelligence, your choice.
Channel your dead friend. Oh, guidance. I have guidance now. Add a d4 to that.
There's no way. Yeah, no, 8. I can't.
Yeah, you wouldn't know either way if
Ursa
that would work.
starts looking for any sign of Alvaron.
Well, as selfish as it is, because that's what it is, I don't want to see any more friends die. So if that means
I don't
die,
either.
I'm fine with that.
I don't want to see anyone else die either.
Like I said, I'm
At this
selfish.
point, Elveron, actually, now that I kind of forgot. Yeah, at this point, Elveron probably would be here, and he would kind of turn the corner. He goes, hello. Apologies, keep talking.
You've got the same tattoos as her.
You're very observant.
Can we close hell? Not permanently.
Not permanently, no.
How long? How long can we close it?
You're trying to keep Tyr out.
Yeah, Tyr's gonna get out like today.
Magmar is simply where the veil is thinnest, easiest.
Well, can you thicken the veil?
Not with my power, no. Me and Ersa have the same powers now. So if Ersa can't, I can't. Sure, I have more experience about it.
Can someone else
I
Ben?
could...
speak?
We could close the veil. Like shutting a door. But just because a door is shut, does not mean that you can't break through it. With how powerful Tyr is, maybe that delays him an hour. Even if we could shut it off completely, he would just find somewhere else in hell to break through.
Or if you close the whole veil.
That is what I just told you. Even if I closed the entire thing over Magmar, he could still find another place. That is just where it's thinnest. Access to hell pops up all over this world. Because our world and their world combined into one.
Well, maybe you can cut it off for a while. Do you know anyone who could try it? If you could cut him off for a while, and then your friend who can
I could
control
maybe delay
mortality.
him 6 hours.
I think we can still beat him.
I don't.
Are there... The Feywild, time is slightly different, right?
Right?
It's erratic.
Taking away Tyr's immortality allows him to die of old age. Is there a realm which the timeline moves faster, much faster than it does here?
Most realms align pretty much the same. Feywild is actually the only one that is different.
So who controls the Feywild?
We're not sending him to the Feywild.
He would destroy everything there.
Even if it's a second for us, he's still living through all those
And
years.
the other issue, while you're in the Feywild, you age the same. Just everything outside of it is different. So we sent him to the Feywild? Great. He destroys the entire thing. 50 years pass. We are all dead. And he comes out like it was the next day.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if we can find a way to seal him somewhere, get your friend. What was her name? The god of mortality. Take away his
Carthrax.
immortality. Have a mage somewhere you can't hurt anybody. if there's a way. Pocket realm. Somewhere close Vale.
I think we need to fight him.
I do too.
And you're not gonna
I
take
think
that
you
deal.
just want to die.
I think so
personally.
too.
I think I don't want to see any more death.
So you'll pass
But
it on
you
to
want
others?
all of us to?
At this point, I think so a little bit. As
I
much
think-
as you'll hate me for it. Listen, you don't even have to watch me die. Send me down there alone. Tyr will be dead.
I'm not gonna
You're
I'm not gonna ask
fucking
you to do
doing that.
anything.
You don't. Dude, you don't have to ask me anything. I already want to do
Listen to me. What I see is a man who's made mistakes and regrets them. And instead of doing something about it, he runs.
it. Head on into the fight.
To avoid your problems.
Okay. Maybe I'm a weak man. I'll accept that.
I think you're the strongest man I know.
No, I'm not.
Stop avoiding your problems and try to fix them. Stick around.
You know, every time I stick around, I see my friends die. I wasn't alone in the war.
I understand, Attic. You think I don't know about friends dying?
Right, stop guilting each other, first off. That's not how this works. Stop. Both of you. Let's think
You
about
don't
this.
even know Attic.
I know Attic better than he knows himself.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his best friend's name?
Elveron.
I'm not his best friend.
What was his wife's name?
This is trivia. I'm talking about who
Oh.
he is.
It's trivia, the deep connections he's made with people.
I can see those connections, and I can see how much he cares about you, Lord.
My point is, you knew Attic. Time has passed. You don't know Attic, and I appreciate the help you're trying to offer here. But you can't act like you know exactly what we're going through right now, with all due respect.
I'd argue against that. You know Cohen, right?
Yes.
Can you call me?
No.
Why not?
There's a lot of people that want to kill him right now.
Here in this room?
No, I don't know where they are, and the problem is they could just appear like that and they hear everything. So we're not calling him here right now. Not until we have to fight here.
If I need to talk to him.
Then say a prayer. Or I can send a message to him.
I mean, I don't think he'd be safe wherever he is now.
Cohen's good at running.
I know that.
Problem is, when he's down in one spot, he's not as good.
Listen, I'm trying to figure out a way that we don't have to fight a god where there will be destruction places, wherever we do it. Don't want to hear.
You hear the cacophony of hundreds of metallic wings flying overhead. You look out the window and you see hundreds of Kenku wearing metallic armor swoop down into the city, led by potentially Froya leading the helm, swooping down into the city.
Add another one onto the tally.
Okay. You know, the deal with Saloon is I had to tell you. But I'll give in just a little bit. I'm gonna have Saloon start the spell, because it takes a while. And during the fight, if things start going badly, then it will go off. If it's going well,
then we won't have Saloon there. That makes it more likely that it will go badly.
I don't want to see her hurt.
I don't want to see her in the battle, yeah.
Personally, I don't want to see anyone in the battle.
This is the only opportunity where we can control where the battlefield is. The only opportunity.
I really don't think so.
It's either waiting for him at the top of a ladder or putting him in another room and waiting which wall he breaks down first.
If we can even put him in another room.
If we can put him in another room.
And he is not going to the Feywild.
A friend
I'm not sending him
died.
to the Feywild.
A friend died moving him to a plane adjacent to this one.
Exactly, so you think you're going to be able to fight him? Any of you? Even with this spell?
Yeah, I could. Saloon confirmed it. I would be able to go toe-to-toe with him, especially if Carthrax takes away his immortality. I could end this. End him.
Where?
On the first layer of hell.
And what stops him from running out of there?
Us. Colin. We are the reason he's angry.
Alvaron goes,
He's too prideful to run away from us.
From a fight?
We're the problem.
I agree. As long as one of you is alive, no matter where you meet him, he would not leave until the last person is dead. And pardon me, miss, but I don't know you. Sure, I don't know everyone here very well, but you are new. And the person which you stand in the boots of now died yesterday. So my friends may be a little hesitant to trust you on even a good day.
That's fair. But, I have your best interests at heart. And tell you that because sure as hell don't want to see, my home destroyed. It's not here, but it's close. I mean, if we're gonna fight, I could. This is not why I want to be here.
I told you. I don't mean to say I told you so, but I told you. You can still leave. I don't want to see harm come to you either.
I can personally help you get anywhere you want to go.
Probably got that handled.
We are on the same team. We're all trying to do the same thing. Do you have any ideas it's not the Feywild?
Oh,
not the pocket dimension.
He owes me one. He'll be fine. Cohen. Come on, you bastard.
You hear in your voice, there is someone in my life that takes priority over you now. And he told me to stay away. So that is
Right.
what I will do.
Well, I'll ask my mom to bake you those pies you really like.
You think I'm gonna betray my son's
I
word
knew it.
for pie?
For goat? Cohen?
I'm not that shallow.
It's a real good one.
Don't stop talking about it.
For rhubarb, you know
Stop
about one?
talking
Can I
about
hear
it.
her?
Straight from the garden.
Can I hear you?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, rhubarb pie.
Rhubarb pie.
No, don't get my son into this.
I'll give everyone one. And then your son will be as mad.
Hey, now you're just trying to manipulate my son and all of his friends.
You know, there's a woman who viably really could kill him, like, right outside.
She doesn't know he's here right now. He'll be fine.
Froy's here?
Froy's here.
She's busy.
How did you hear me?
Right? That's happening.
I'm tuned in on the radio.
Bastard. I hoped you've never learned that ability of mine.
Your antlers double
he
as
do that now?
wires.
Is that canon? Is this
He's always been able to do that.
Oh, fuck you! You little shit!
He's the god of tricks.
I know, you don't.
Talkies.
Right, can you help me
Tell me
or not?
anything.
What?
Do you want to see all of Silengard destroyed?
No, I want to.
Okay, then get
I'm
here.
trying to tune in now too. Seeing that Odie's talking now, I'm gonna.
Can she do it?
Make a Arcana check for me.
Get out of my line. This is my phone call.
12.
No, you're not able to.
It's like on the old landlines.
Yeah,
so if you
yeah,
pick up
yeah.
your hand, you can.
Get off this line.
Odie, well, I guess as you've so rudely eavesdropped, what should I do?
We'll give you both rhubarb pie. My mom's rhubarb pie.
She's really good rhubarb pie.
I kind of want to see where she's going. Don't make it loud.
You hear the voice from behind you. Okay, I'm here.
Oh my god. Oh. Okay, thank you.
Paula.
Nice to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Stop smiling like that.
I'm happy. You're an old friend, and your mother is my best friend, so...
Wait a minute. Twig girl?
Something about my mom.
Oh yeah, I've talked about her all the time. That's her mom.
I met.
Oh.
Paula's not as fun to be around as her mother, but she has her charms.
I would know Mouse's name probably, right?
No.
No, she just.
Haha.
Paula's
I only
never
did.
mentioned it.
I've just known her as Twig Girl from the occasional glimpses I've
Yep.
got. You're Twig Girl's daughter.
When was the last time I saw you?
My brother's funeral.
Right, your brother's funeral.
You left early.
I didn't leave early.
You did.
Maybe like an hour, but that was because I didn't want to cry in front of your family.
Funerals are only like an hour long.
No, this one was. I think this one was longer. It was longer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was fine.
Well, you're my mum's best friend and you left her crying alone in her house.
Yes. I'm a very flawed individual.
We know.
We know.
Thank you.
Well, that means that you owe me.
I was going to help you fight Tyr regardless.
Yeah.
Specifically
I
because
know I was fine.
two people that I'm highly invested in, not like your investments,
No.
you're my son, you know what, I don't want them to die, and all the rest of them, so yes, of course I'm going
He
to
spent a lot of time teaching me this stuff. He doesn't want to have to pick up another
However,
halfling off
I
of
will
the,
say-
out of the mud.
I will say, if I fight along, if Heimdall and Froya are fighting alongside, they may have a problem with that.
Why?
Because they hate me.
Why?
Complicated long reasons.
He
Yeah.
destroyed their world.
What?
You've already had a meeting with Froya. You've agreed that if it comes to it, then
We
you
did
guys have
agree-
each other's
we did agree,
teams.
but-
And Heimdall said that he would help with Tyr before he killed you
Heimdall
too.
said that?
I
I think, yeah.
We did.
He said that killing Tyr is top priority.
Should I call in my backup?
Oh,
Saloon.
I wouldn't be opposed.
What's one
Saloon.
more?
Odie's like,
Saloon
oh.
appears into the room. She
hey,
accidentally
accidentally is teleported a little too close to you, so you kind of are immediately rubbing shoulders. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry. I'll move over.
I think Odie likes it.
Can we do it?
Exposed.
I like mouth at you, not in front of my dad.
Huh?
Oh, are they all still talking in their head?
I'd like to picture that.
No. Odie is... Cohen is there physically now.
Oh!
So is Saloon. This entire time they've been there physically.
Saloon.
Yeah.
I told everyone, but I have a question.
Yes.
What if we successfully kill Tyr with the spell? Atticus's soul might be destroyed, but what if I piggyback off of the soul of a god of war and
That's all right. Your
almost
soul will be
steal
what?
it? I wouldn't have access to godlike powers, I'd imagine, but what if I hopped souls in a way?
I don't think that's...
Like-
So how does the spell work?
Like you vampirism, you
you suck the soul out
your
of him?
soul.
Loki, you can weigh in on this as
Can you-
well.
can
How
you
does
explain
how
this-
does transferring godlike?
I did do it
Titles
once.
work.
Actually, I did do it once.
Oh,
Can you? Well, I guess the question is, can you transfer gods' titles and powers? Maybe not instantaneously, but like if
Well, okay. I did transfer someone's soul once. It was a god. And I took his... It's kind of a funny story if I think about it. I took his soul and I put it inside the body of a rabbit. And he lived as a rabbit for many years. Until I finally...
He's like laughing but trying not to.
until I finally removed it and put it back in his original body, which at that point had been rotting for some time. So he had a lingering scent for the years to follow, but he was fine.
so.
I'd love to
I
think
guess-
that Odie in game is like, that's fucking awful, but that is a little bit funny.
So let's, as grim as this is, let's say we go through with this spell. At the end of the spell, my soul crumbles into dust. What if we put that dust in the husk?
Saloon.
We put the dust into the husk of Tyr's soul
Saloon goes...
after he's departed.
Okay, so souls are complicated things.
Can
They
we
aren't
get
necessarily-
a run by for what this spell is? How exactly it works? Because he told us he'd die, not that his soul would crumble to dust.
Okay, if you let me explain. A spell that the gods, except for my mother, tried to exterminate because they knew how powerful it could be to potential mortals trying to overthrow their positions. It's an ancient spell that my mother just so happened to leave writings about that would basically give any mortal godlike power for an hour, maybe. And afterwards they would die.
If we beat Tyr within that hour, would you be able to
Yes,
take
it's
my
not-
deteriorating soul and put it into another?
The way that souls work, a little lesson for all of you. They aren't just you, if that makes sense. Your soul isn't just some amorphous thing that shifts off to a realm when you die. No. It is basically the life that allows your brain to function. If you lose that, your brain ceases to function. So if your heart stops, that essence of life leaves you. The saying soul is simply that essence of life that all of us have, but can so easily go away.
So
Your consciousness, however, is different. The soul often acts as a mechanism of action to take your consciousness, your mind, your memories elsewhere. And that's the reason why you wouldn't be able to be back with your wife, because your soul would be gone and that transportation would be gone. But
So the soul is simply a mote of power for the consciousness to run.
yes,
Would you be able
if a soul which is disconnected from the consciousness, let's say, of Tyr, was extracted, and probably the only one that could do it, if it was extracted and put back into your consciousness immediately after dying, it's possible that you could still be alive.
Which would help our chances even more.
The problem is this godhood spell. It destroys your body, breaks all of your bones, your muscle tears from bones, ligaments snap. Your body would be in a state of complete disrepair. So even if I did bring it back, you wouldn't have any bodily function. Unless there was some major healing involved. Yes, new face. What is your name?
Paula.
Paula. Cool.
Yeah.
So, Saloon, you can call me.
Pretty.
Yeah, thank you.
Can this spell be cast on gods?
A spell of godhood cast on a god? I don't know.
Because if you could cast this on Tyr, I mean, he's already got the powers of a god. Wouldn't it kill him outright?
Elron, have you met Warden Kanan?
No.
Oh, we can't find him.
I've heard of him. They say he has the power to create new realms. Whatever that means.
Eyes and I.
Did you
tried to
meet
find
him?
and couldn't.
You met him?
No.
You did in Winter Spire.
Wait, what?
You met him.
In the library.
Oh, yeah.
He can make new realms?
He was here?
He was here, and well, he was in Winter Spire.
Could he make a realm to hold Tyr? Could he make a realm to hold Tyr? For an hour?
I don't know. Eyes, she tried to.
You're
find
saying
him.
that hour as if this spell is guaranteed to kill him in an hour.
Yeah,
What
this
if it
spell
doesn't
probably
kill
won't
him?
kill him. This is a god soul.
Alright,
It
well,
would kill a mortal, it probably won't kill a god.
well you
Especially
have
if
the
they're
goddess of
immortal.
mortality on your side, don't you, as well? Once she gets here...
Maybe. We
Can't
don't
she-
know if she's freed yet.
Heimdall, get your ass back here as soon as you've got her.
Cohen goes, he can't hear you like I can.
Can I
What an
scry
idiot.
on Heimdall?
Sure. You scry on Heimdall. You see that. First, well, actually, I need you to roll for this.
Yeah.
Since he's very far away.
Is it any modifier?
Add your spellcasting, whatever it may be.
16.
16. Okay. You see that he is currently unshackling hundreds of shackles from Cartharak. Cartharak is skin and bones. You see her cheeks are completely recessed. She looks half skeletal. You see she's halfly lucid, being suspended by chains. She doesn't have like any cuts on her or anything like that, but she is in a insane prison on some other realm. You see Heimdall is frantically undoing all of these chains until she finally falls half lucid into his arms. You see he goes, Cartharak, hey, you don't know me, but I'm gonna get you out of here, okay? All right, let's go. And you see, in a flash, he runs out of there at speeds that are beyond you.
She's barely alive. But she's free.
So she might not even be able to have the power to take away Tyr's immortality right now.
That's something we'd have to talk to her about.
Just speed feed her while we go toe to toe with the God of War until she gets to a point where she can take his immortality, and then we finish the job.
I mean, your friend, she died to give you this chance, right?
Duh.
She must have had some kind of intent.
Save us.
Would she leave you with this, though? If she knew there was no chance?
Well, there is a chance. We go toe to toe with him in hell. But there is, talking about chances, there's a chance if we successfully defeat Tyr as my soul is deteriorating, I would be able to steal that life force to continue on. Even though my body would be in shambles, I would need healing beyond that.
I'd be willing to do anything it takes.
Okay, so here's... Okay, here's what would need to happen. I would need to leave right after this conversation and start preparing that spell. I would be on call. You'd have a line to me, and as soon as you gave me the word, I could activate the spell. You'd be in that state maybe an hour. The problem is, you would need to kill Tyr at about the same time that you die. So we may actually have to we would have to cast the spell before you even got close to fighting Tyr. Maybe at a point where, I don't know how long it would take to fight him, 10 minutes?
I mean, in 10 minutes, either we'll be dead or he'll be dead.
So that gives you 10 minutes. If you kill Tyr, at least get him to a point where he's a smaller threat where you can... Or wait. What if I just ended the spell? I didn't even think about that. I could just end it whenever killing you... Sorry, I've never cast this thing before.
Okay.
Are we sure you'd be able to cast it at all?
I think so.
You think so?
Yes, I think so.
It's the best
I'm
chance
sorry
we've
I
got.
can't be more sure, but
I'm not.
I could drop it as soon as Tyr goes down. And then I would need someone to teleport me to you. Believe it or not, I'm not good at interplanar travel. Elveron goes, I could do it.
Okay.
I could make sure I have enough in me to teleport. Well, if I go down in the fight, then that eliminates the ability for me to teleport you to him, so I would need to be with you. And not fight. Because I'm confident in my abilities, but if Tyr's strong, if he got a hold of me one time, I'd be dead. And with how risky this is, I wouldn't want to risk it. So I stay with Saloon, teleport her and myself to you. As soon as you go down and Tyr goes down, Saloon goes, and then I could do my thing. At this point, Froya walks in. You see
The king is like, what the fuck
in
is going on in there?
elegant armor. Well, the king is just as afraid as Tyr as you guys are, if not more, because he understands
like,
the consequences. So Tyr, the king is. I mean, he's in the other room.
He's probably
I'm
glad
fine.
to see.
He's
I'm
probably relieved that you guys have so many resources at your disposal.
Yeah.
Froya walks in, decked out in this beautiful metallic armor. The wings kind of tuck up behind her back, and behind her, you see the two Kenku that you met in Iceburrow, kind of flanking behind her, both with pistols on their side. Paula, you would know who these are. You would know that these are the great, great, great grandchildren of a Clara.
They know me.
Yeah, they know you. You see they're in business mode, but you see both of them.
Kind of tip my hat to them.
They kind of bow with their wings behind them.
You got dragged into this too?
You know us. Always looking for a new fight.
How was the arena the calm before the storm?
Froya kind of looking more confident, like she's returned to a bit, maybe a fraction of her previous self.
I'll tip my hat.
You see
to
she
her, too.
looks at Loki and just gave you my word. I won't kill you yet. Loki goes, thank you. I dread the day where you will have to.
Loki should be smart enough to... This is so meta. Loki should be smart enough to drop that she wouldn't have any Valkyries left if it weren't for him.
He's not smart enough.
I can attest to that.
Froya goes, Valkyries are different than when I last left them.
Still to your liking, Bo?
Very much so. My old Valkyries were actually undead beings that were brought back from Valhalla, but you know.
Well, these little birds, quite fond of them.
I watched. They're small but fierce. However, I will say, as much as I maybe have created this faction of warrior, these are not my Valkyries anymore. I know that. But the giants, recognizing me from their ancestors, agreed to lend me them for this fight.
Sorry, I completely off topic. I realized something extremely funny of Elveron. You'll enjoy this most. When we swore to fight through the bowels of hell for Gordansky, I thought it would be under different circumstances.
They do always induct new soldiers into that, but I never thought it was real.
Here we are. Saloon, you want to get on that?
You sure?
Well, hold on.
It's my choice.
It is.
Let's do it.
All right.
There's a chance I come out on the other side.
Small one.
Odie?
It's at least a chance.
She pulls you in for a big kiss on the lips, pushes you away.
You just kiss the moon.
I bring her back in.
Odie, you embrace Saloon and share a beautiful, tender kiss.
Go kiss.
But Loki, as you finally release, you see your father is in between you.
I slapped the shit out of her. Privacy. Thank you.
Right. That's a concept that I often forget. I apologize. I just was so excited. Your first love. It's so cute. Saloon goes, sorry, in case you die, which if you do, I will take your soul and beat it up.
Okay. Hopefully, you don't have to.
Yeah.
I would like that.
And
though.
she teleports away.
Alright.
This Morton Kanan, is there any way we could get in contact with him? Have another person on our side? You said
Actually,
you've
skip
seen.
fight.
You said you've seen him before. Could you scry?
I can try.
Not to take more energy from you, but
Do we?
if there's a chance.
I refresh my memory above the table. Was it in this campaign that we found like the little pills that could give you like a long rest back?
Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
Okay.
You actually have one.
Yep.
Shold got you a version of it that.
Oh, I have one as well.
Amazing.
Actually, how many do I have?
Using that if we're fighting him in like a couple hours.
Okay.
Well, it should be at least a day because that's how long it takes to cast that freaking spell. I have 2 of those pills.
Slay.
It does, though, after an hour, you crash completely and are brought to 5 points of exhaustion.
Okay.
It's the smelling.
Yeah,
salt
that's
stuff,
the exact
right?
same thing, just a different mechanism
So-
of
Okay,
action.
because I have that still.
Fantastic.
We have the
So-
smelling salts, and we also have the pill that makes it so.
They're one and the same, just one's a gas, one's a powder.
Amazing.
But I thought the
So-
one that gives you a long rest gives you.
Yeah, it's just an
crash.
hour of sleep and then you wake up with a long rest.
Oh, you're right. Those are different. Those are
Okay,
different.
that's
I thought
what
you were,
I
I
have.
thought you were talking about the. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
No.
then you only have one that gives you it immediately.
Okay. How many
We
hours
do
does
have
it
it.
take to cast a spell that Saloon is casting?
24.
24?
Is
Okay.
it the full 24? Okay.
Okay. Should
20
be
to
able
24 hours. Yeah.
Should be able to get a long rest in there. Ursa is going to. Can I see Eyes' things?
I would hand you them.
I'm gonna fish for the scry amulet to try to amplify the scry,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to scry on Morning King.
Okay. Roll on the board. This is a big roll. You need an 18 or higher.
Okay.
Can she die to lower that DC?
What? No.
Can I give
This
up my
is
soul?
this is not life or death.
Guidance. You get to add a +4. You need to add a D4.
Okay. For kicks and giggles, we're gonna give.
You have so many too. Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not.
Natural 20.
You're kidding.
Oh,
You're kidding me.
my gosh!
Very nice.
You are immediately taken to an entirely different realm. You see that Mordenkainen is sitting behind a desk. Behind him, these massive windows. He's high up into the air, and outside of these windows, a sprawling steampunk-like city of flying machines, airships, all manner of industry and creation. You see all around him in this office are various trinkets, experiments, all of these artifacts that have been collected from realm after realm, and you see he's kind of just writing in his journal.
You can go that, right?
Yeah. Did we establish how many? Because one of the things, scry was not one of the things written down.
Mm-mm.
How many planar points?
That would be 5.
5. Okay.
So you've
So this is my
used
third one.
15.
I've used 15.
Yep.
I'm at 18. I have a total of 18. So I only have 3 left after this.
You wouldn't be. Well, Mordenkainen could take you back.
No, so it's 4 to go to a different realm.
Go absorb a portal real quick.
Just pick one up, man.
Honestly,
At this store.
I might do that.
At the portal store.
Just have Elveron take you to a portal, absorb it, just so you can have enough planar magic to jump to Mordenkainen.
Or you could have Elveron take you there.
Scry is
He's
5
seen it.
planar portal points. That's a lot.
Okay. I'm going to.
Powerful ability, especially because she can scry across all planes.
Can I make my scry ball a nuisance? Can I control that? Because I know that they can see them.
Just you're gonna make it a nuisance.
Yeah, the
Okay.
scry smell or whatever the planar warriors get.
Okay.
It is really stinky. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go of his journal.
And
Mordenkainen.
just mess with the
You
pieces.
see Mordenkainen is writing. You go right over his journal, looking right up at his face, and he goes,
Bonk.
"Whoever this is, can you please give me a minute? I'm almost done with this entry, please.
I'll move over.
Thank you."
And then I'll pop out of it.
Okay.
Maybe with arcane footprint, he can know where it came from.
Vibes.
Arcane footprint. You're like, oh, it's this person I met in Winterspire. How weird. And then scry to know where they are, and then appear.
Do we want to turn this off so it doesn't soak the felt more?
The felt is
It is.
so.
I kind of like it.
I wrote Cohen as a butt face in there.
Yeah, there's some other stuff
Play
right now.
tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
turn it off.
Cohen is a butt face.
Ha.
They smell.
Oh,
Yes.
God of War handprint.
oh my
Amazing.
gosh.
Damn.
Kind of look like a penis.
Can I break the box?
No.
Oh. I'm gonna pop back out as Greg.
Okay.
I know. I'm gonna talk to Elveron.
Okay.
I know you haven't met Mordenkainen. Have you met anyone else? You mentioned that the rest of the Planewalkers tend to not have loyalties to their home planes. Would any of them have reason to help? Do you think we could convince him?
It's possible. I don't know. I don't know the man. And as long as I've been like this, I don't know much about planeswalkers. I've been busy with destroying people's lives.
Can you elaborate on that?
I believe you saw it one time. And I helped Adula destroy Winterspire. I was the one responsible for killing all of those importants in the city, disrupting their infrastructure, and then Dula would swoop in when it was at a weakened state. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you know of any other portals in the city?
In the city? Yeah, there's a few.
Are any of them, if any of them disappear, are they gonna harm anything?
No.
Maybe.
If anything, it would make it better. Most of them are portals to, other countries.
There's all the one that has stretch.
Got it.
There's 3 right now, currently. I could take you to all 3 of them in less than an hour. They're nowhere near as powerful as the one you absorbed last night, but there's something.
If you wouldn't mind.
I can take you right now. He takes your hand and he teleports you. We can just elaborate this because this will go smoothly. You are able to very easily absorb 3 new portals, gaining 3 more planar points.
No, be next to me.
Froya, to the rest of you, goes, I came here with the Valkyries after hearing of what Eyes did to Tyr. Knowing that it was safer to enter the city, we're here to help. For we know that he'll be here very soon, and I wish to kill him. So what's the plan?
Go to the ninth, or go to the first layer of hell, kill him there so we don't kill anyone else.
Got it. Sounds solid.
Attic insists on he wants to have Saloon help him become powerful enough to fight him toe to toe, but
Great.
it will kill him permanently unless we figure out a way around that.
I don't know him well, but I'm sorry. But if it helps us win, then I'm all for it.
Not just kill him.
His soul will vanish.
I guess we'll get to that when we get to that. Well, I need to organize my Valkyries. As soon as you need me, tell me when and where to be, and we'll be there. Yeah, I think we should take a break. And we'll take a break then.
I wrote O plus S in a heart.
Also, Paula kind of acting like eyes.
So